think the athlete I'm most interested in is Cooper Teare, to be honest. I think a lot of people would maybe say someone like a Donovan Brazier or uh, a Cole Hocker, but I'm interested in Cooper Teare for the pure fact that he is going all in on one event, and that event
Mhm.
being the 1500 as opposed to what you would think it would be being the 3K. And the if he comes out of this race, not just with making the team, but if he were to win this race, it's really going to open the eyes of a lot of people of like, what is Cooper Teare? Like, what is he? Is he been a miler this whole time? Have we been distracted by the presence of Cole Hocker's long locks of hair and his
Mhm.
NCAAs and USA defeating of Centro and going on to become sixth at the Olympics? Meanwhile, Cooper
Yeah.
Teare is just sitting back being like, you guys have no idea. I beat him
Yeah.
every workout. He just happened to have a few wins. If I was in the race at USA's in the 1500, I would have been the guy looking over my
Mm.
shoulder towards Centro and towards Cole Hocker and getting the win. And we'll find that out because if he comes out there at USA's and if Cooper Teare finds a way to win this, it's
Mhm.
it's definitely going to be like, whoa. I mean, I don't know how much more description I can put into it, but my reaction is like, whoa, Cooper Teare is the guy. Like, I think right now we all think Cole Hocker is the guy. And by the definition of the guy is someone that you can foresee making multiple world teams for like a decade. Like the
That's a
guy,
long time.
yeah, the guy. Here are guys, the guys. Leo Manzano was the guy. Matt Centrowitz was the guy.
Mhm.
Paul Chalimo is kind of the guy right now.
Mhm.
I would say Nick Simmons was the guy. You know, you could think of these people who are like, no matter what, you're
Yeah.
making a team. And if Cooper Teare comes out here and wins this indoor championship over someone like Cole Hocker, over a Craig Engels, over the rest of the milers in the country,
Yeah.
Cooper Teare might be in year zero of being the guy or year one.
Man, you're
So
you're putting a lot of stock into US indoors. Um, they go straight to finals in both of these. So there's one 3K race and one 1500-meter race. And we saw how good Hawker is at doubling last year at NCAA's when he had 45 minutes. This time he's going to have a whole night's sleep underneath him. But Tier beat him in Chicago. And you look at the field, who's clearly better? There's nobody clearly better here. You have guys like Thompson, Engels, as you mentioned. Prakel's been solid. But you could see, and Colby Alexander's had a good season. But yeah, you could see this coming down to another Hawker versus Tier battle. Um, for those top two spots. And those top two spots would qualify for World Indoors, which would be, a great accomplishment in his first full year as a pro. I don't know though. Beyond, do you think this will sway his decision on whether or not he's a 1500 or 5,000 guy outdoors, or is this just an opportunity to race at something shorter?
I mean, I don't know, but like if he does win it, again, look at that field. You could say it's not that, but like the field has the sixth place Olympian in it in Cole Hocker. The only two
Sure,
people
sure,
missing
yeah,
from that
yeah,
field are Yard Naguse and Matthew Centrowitz. And Centrowitz isn't someone who's like going to be relevant in the 1500, 5 years from now, 4 years, maybe even 3 years from now. So and Naguse is Naguse. I just think that him winning this race is going to say, I'm the best miler in the country. I think the winner, I think if he goes out there, wins a championship style race against Cole Hocker and against Craig Engels and the like, that's the
Mhm.
definition of being ranked number one, of being the top miler. And it'll just be crazy for the top miler to be like, I'm going to do the 5K against Chalimo, Kincaid, and Fisher. Like, he would have a better
That's
chance
why
of
I'm
making
wondering. What?
worlds in
Yeah,
the 15.
yeah, yeah. Listen, I'm not going to go that far and say makes him the top miler. I mean, he would have won 2 mile races in a row. and his indoor season would have been 3 in a row. Now, if he goes to World Indoors and then goes up against Jakob and holds his own there and is able to get a medal at a World Indoors, then I think we're talking about his standing being number one. But I'm not going to give that to him just based off of this
In,
the short indoor season.
in the
I do think
country,
it's an important.
you don't
Yeah, I
think you'd be
wouldn't
the
give it
top
to him.
miler in the country?
Well, at that current second, yes, because by its very
Okay.
definition, the best people are running. But what does that mean? It's I wouldn't if I was doing rankings of or projections of who's going to win U.S. champs in the 1500. Even if he wins, I wouldn't put him number one for what he's going to do in June. In part
What would you
because I
put
still
him?
think he's going to go to the. I still think he's going to go to the 5K. I mean, I would still put him behind, depending on how Hawker does this weekend. I put him behind Hawker and I put him behind Centrowitz for sure. And then we don't know about Nagoose.
So you'd put him fourth. If he beats Hocker, is he like undefeated against Hocker in these short races anyway? I feel like he
The
is.
mile, he does really yeah, it's interesting. He does really well against Hawker in the mile, 3 and
Yeah,
0
3
in the
and 0.
mile.
So
That's indoors. And then if you go outdoors in the include the 1500, he's been successful against Cole Hocker. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to oversell
I
one
do.
race even though it has the championship label on it. Yeah. And I respect that. Even though it has a championship label on it, I don't want to get too carried away with what he can do.
I'm just saying, get
I'm
your
looking
futures
for
in now for USA's outdoors because if Cooper Teare wins this, he's going to win outdoors.
yeah. I mean, here's my top 10. I put him on there at number 10. I still have Hawker. This is internationally. I still have Hawker at 6. I didn't really move Hawker down when he lost to Tier just because it was such a different type of race. And when you're comparing these guys internationally, maybe some of those other guys would have also lost to Tier heads up. But I think he's legit. I think he's top 10 in the world right now. Um, Elliot Giles, Mohamed Katir right in front of him, McCall. I mean, that first tier is pretty solid because the first tier is just Yaka by himself, but Chariot's not in there because he hasn't been running. But Hoare and Kerr and Tefera have proven themselves indoors. In terms of time and just can this person run an insanely quick time? Two things I'm looking at are Holloway and Christian Coleman.